Hey everybody, hi, my name is Logan. I never say not see on the internet, and I straight play D&D with my friends.
No,
So
no,
last time, good question, Carson. We were, I didn't reset the jar. It's fine.
Oh,
Reset the jar.
We're on the internet.
Reset the jar. I can do that voice apparently.
Is that Casimir's new
does that ever
voice?
happen to you sometimes where you're like, oh, I can do that? That's how
Yeah.
the Drift Chapel one shot happened. I started talking and I was like, I can do this dumb country bumpkin voice.
Yeah, well that was the what was it? The Knoll voice that
Rock
you all loved
Rock
so
Duck.
dearly.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Rock
I
Duck.
have nightmares with that man.
Right.
Remember, Sharn? That was a thing.
Good times.
Yeah, I love how every time past then, like steps were taken to circumvent me doing that character again.
Yeah. After you did it once, it was over.
Yeah.
So last time, there's not much recap to happen just because you had your meeting with Town Speaker Duvessa Shane. She revealed a bit of lore stuff about why they do their sacrifices, who they sacrifice, the way it's evolved, how it got started, all that kind of good stuff, and it all kind of dates back to some worshippers of Arl who went town to town being like, hey, you should sacrifice people, and everyone's like, okay, and then they did it. It's definitely more complicated than that, but for the sake of recap, that's what happened. As opposed to East Haven, Bryn Shander has an actual threat if they don't sacrifice. They're literal monsters and beasts that attack the town. And the one sort of leading, dominating monster, a kind of northern Arctic manticore, you're basically told to, if you could slay that creature and prove that you slayed it head in hand,
Welcome, Josh.
and thank you, and show the town that these are just monsters and they are not necessarily God's wrath, basically, that they can be slain, then it could potentially turn the tides in your journey to stop the towns from killing their own people. So a week or so passed. You went out to the spot where they dropped their sacrifices, found the sad sight, and found a cave with the hibernating manticore in it. And that's where we stopped. You kind of have a bit of a run of the place. You should see the map generally in Albert Rodeo. I'm going to drop, Wind's the one at the top. I'm going to drop Wind down kind of generally where you guys are at in that upper corner. And then in this bottom corner way down here, that is where the cave, mouth of the cave is at, where you saw that slumbering manticore. I guess I can put this up on screen once more. Oh, I didn't change the link. Let me change it. But shout out to Dice Grimorium for their amazing, amazing, amazing maps. Rawr. Ooh.
Are you putting down the rest of our...
I was just going to put one of you guys down just to kind of mark where the party is, and then once you guys make moves to act, then we can start placing wherever you want to be. But for now, we'll just talk it out.
Is it that big circle down
Yeah,
there?
where it says RAR.
Gotcha. So each of these squares 5 feet?
Yes, sir.
Um,
And from the most that you can see is just a reminder. I think, I'll drop a little Casimir down. I think it was Casimir and Norm?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Norm.
Lordy. Casimir and Norm snuck up and only got to that closest rock and peered into a dark cave. They saw the form of a manticore hibernating within the darkness, but besides that, what else is in the cave, the exact state of the manticore, anything like that's still a little unknown. Xavier, I love Midnight Mass. Holy shit.
That's a great.
We'll need to take a break.
Midnight-
We'll talk about it at our break.
Midnight Mass gave me nightmares. It was really
I
good.
loved it. Oosh. Anyway, so yes, the exact details of what's in that cave besides a manticore, still not sure. However, that's where you're at. So you can kind of formulate your plan. For the sake of ease, the guards and the sheriff, they're watching your dogs and your sled.
So I'll whisper to everyone, mostly directed at Gil because this is kind of his expertise more so than any of the rest of us. Should we try and hit it with everything we got at once, or is there some kind of advantage we can exploit beforehand? This is truly very far out of my wheelhouse, beyond the realm of theoretical.
Any advantage is a good advantage. And Logan, is there anything that I know about northern manticores that would be of any assistance in hunting one?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry. I have had to change my desk setup, and so my mic is on my desk now. So you may end up hearing a lot of, like, tapping sounds. If it's horrible, please let me know, because this is sort of a test
That's
run.
free ASMR, baby.
It
I
kind
like your
of is.
shirt, by the way. Happy
Ooh.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, I got
Cute.
this last summer from Old Navy.
Nice.
Like a little Pride series. It was
Good
cool.
shirt.
But so yes, if there's I might mute myself more than normal, and that probably happened a lot. But it also let me know about like ambient noise, because again I'm kind of testing it.
It's all good, baby.
So Austin, if you'll make your choice of like a nature, arcana, history, whatever you probably have your proficiency or highest thing in, if anything.
I lend a help action.
I was gonna let him do it at advantage
I-
anyway, because
Okay.
that's
I
kind
was
of his.
gonna.
that's
I was
his
also about to be
expertise.
like, can I give him advantage with
I have to
book
think.
knowledge?
Oh,
Yeah, I
God.
know I'm not like a big game monster hunter. Like
You could
you,
also
but
do
still,
survival.
I was
survived
about
for
to
a
ask,
while.
could I rely on experience?
Yes,
in
so a
that
survival
way?
at advantage would work too.
Okay.
Also, Austin, I have dice for you the next time I see you.
With advantage, it's still a 13.
That's pretty good.
So
Look at
So,
Golden. He lick.
so the basics of manticores, these flying sort of lion dragon hybrids. They're sort of lion bodies, dragon reptilian wings, barbed tail that they can shoot the spikes out of at incredible distances, but then a strangely human face. Manticores, they are sentient but not intelligent. They can talk and think, but they don't have very deep logic. They rely very much on, I'm hungry, I'm gonna get food, but they have sort of a voice to them, so it kind of lends a bit of creepiness to them, because then they can voice all of those weird hungers they're feeling. As far as
like that.
it's kind of disturbing. With Arctic manticores in particular, they're sort of like a snow cat variation. So white fur instead of brown, sort of russet-colored fur. And I think we mentioned this before, teeth and tail bars made of icicles as opposed to normal sort of keratin or bone. But this is also what is, from the stories that you've heard, it is a being of Arl the Frostmaiden. It's exacting the Frostmaiden's will, allegedly. And you've already had an encounter once with a warlock of the Frostmaiden, Sephek. He had those ice powers, could summon ice blades. So even though this creature is going to probably be a little bit hardier because of its Arctic heritage, maybe like mechanically, you know that they tend to have almost like a icy shell to them, like their undercoat and secondary coat are harder, like made stronger through ice and frost. The barbs on their tail are not only just painful spikes that will stab you in the stomach, they're also like magically cold and will like freeze into you as well. So there's some magical elements baked into it too, or I guess frozen into it.
I think essentially what Gil is going to convey is they're sentient but not particularly intelligent. We could lure it out, and essentially we need to hit it quick and overwhelm it, but prevent it from running.
And I think a lot of the information was roughly given last time, so I'm going to give you one more freebie. Because they are sentient but not intelligent, and not very logical, they're very prideful. They are these big hunters. And so it's pretty common for people who hunt those things to use that against them, luring them to things, challenging them, and also because of their wings and tail, it's pretty frequent that they will fly up into the air and attack from a distance. Like, they're strategic, but still vulnerable to pride and things like that.
Yeah.
What are the rough dimensions of the mouth of the cave?
Mouth of the cave, it's fairly wide, maybe about 25 feet or so, but then a bit short, so 10 to 15 feet. So you imagine that if the manticore wanted to leave the cave, it wouldn't be able to just like take flight and soar out, because there's not enough wing room. It would have to run out and leap into the air.
Okay, I will say this.
It occurs to me that thing makes it out of the cave. It's gonna have free reign to fly all around us, shooting its spikes down. And those of us who don't have many ranged propensities are gonna have a hard time fighting back.
That's a... You are learning bigger words.
Oh, I saw that.
Or no?
I'm proud of you. That is a great
yeah.
word.
I'll be real with you. I heard you use that word the other day, and I did have to ask. When what it meant, but now.
You know what? I'm proud of you both, because you both now know what it means.
Well, I knew what it meant before that.
I walk over and I give Casper a high five. Very
Yeah,
quietly.
Yeah, my hand fucking like envelops yours, but I'm just.
But no,
I turn to
yes.
Gil and kind of give him like a.
But yes, it would probably do us a great deal of benefit to not allow it to escape the cave. Should we just hit it with everything we have at once? Yes, Norm has a question.
Is there a way to get on top of the cave?
Hold on, Alan. I'm pulling a U, and I'm saving a picture, a screenshot of you raising your hand to turn it into an emote. Because that was suggested a long time ago. I think Richard suggested a Norm waving emote, so I'm going to make it an Alan raising his hand emote. Because that's what you do every time.
I am from the Yak tribe.
Oh, shit. Where's my folder?
My question about that is, was that workshopped by the whole tribe, or was that pure Norm?
I feel like Norm was like...
on it.
I feel like Norm was like, I need to help the tribe, and this is the best way to do it. And he wrote it by himself. Did not get approval.
No.
Did not
That's
ask
funny,
anyone.
But also, is there just a tribe of Norms?
That's the alternative, which is also really funny.
Yeah.
I think Norm asked like one guy for some help.
And honestly,
He was
Alan...
the village janitor. He didn't have anything to do with the process for sending him
And
out. And he was
Alan...
like, yeah, man, I guess.
I don't remember if this is what you said in your little form that where I got information from all you guys.
Custodian.
But there is a good chance that I will never introduce the Yak Village into this campaign because I want you all to be so curious that you go out of your way. You're like, Arl can fucking wait.
Yeah.
I need to meet these yaks.
First
I
side
gotta
quest.
meet.
You gotta go.
I gotta meet
Gotta go through
Norm's
Y.
fellas.
I gotta know.
Can we do a
Norm, can we
one-shot
meet your
where we-
parents? I can't. I gotta
We
know.
gotta do a one-shot where we all play villagers from the Yak Village.
The
Hello.
coming of age.
I am a member
Yeah.
of the Yak Village.
Good lord.
We could call it Yak Attack
Yo.
or Yakety Sax.
Oh. Go.
The yak coming of age is just filling out your index cards.
I imagine it's just like a weird Arctic version of like Saved by the Bell, where like Norm is the main character as Zach Morris.
They're just
Yak Morris.
Yak Morris. They're just snow Mormons.
Snow Mormon. Have you guys seen the documentary Keep Sweet?
No.
No.
I watched it with my mom this weekend, and it makes me want to throw up. I highly
I saw the
recommend.
promos for it. It looks.
I wanna
gross.
watch the one that's called Our Father. about
Yes,
that,
that's also on my list.
fertility
Oh.
doctor. I've been waiting to watch that with like Carson and Em because I feel like that'd be a really good group experience. for
Yeah,
us all to be
definitely.
discussed it together.
Yes.
But anyway,
Oh
Oh yeah.
was there a
can
question?
I-
What was
Can I
happening?
discreetly take an iron pot and light some charcoals in it
why are you doing that?
for battle?
How can you be discreet about this? Please describe.
I
how
mean,
can
you
dis-
take your
Dead
little
quiet,
cooking
we're
pot.
like- Should we attack it all at once? And we just hear.
You start a
Yeah,
little
quiet,
fire
yeah.
in your cooking pot.
Okay, cool.
You can literally just ask me to make fire.
I
You
can
don't
do
have to
that.
do that. It's quieter.
No, I need the charcoal.
Okay.
Norm says confidently.
I don't want to take a whole lot of time for this, but can I just ask? I mean, I looked at the like poisons list for the listed poisons for 5e, and they're all very expensive and elaborate. Could I make something like much lower level that just is, I don't know, is like a small damage bonus, is there something along there? It applies the poison condition for like a round or something like that.
So I know, cause you guys have had a little bit of downtime, so I'll allow a little bit of funny business as far as like making something. Oh my God, Carson!
Not funny, huh?
I went to search
funny
basic
here.
poison on. Sorry, I peed really hard into the mic. I went to look up basic poison on D&D Beyond, and I just wrote poison.
Boysenberry.
Yeah. I shove my bill hook that I have coated with boysenberry jam deep into the manticore's flesh.
He goes,
Oh. And then what?
very tart.
And then what?
Damn it, Louis.
And what?
Louis.
Stop it.
Carson, are you proficient in a poisoner's kit?
I bought a poisoner's kit, and I have no mechanical reason to be proficient. But if I could, I don't know, work towards gaining a proficiency,
We can talk about that.
maybe it came with like some little instructions.
That's like a little.
One. Yeah.
It's
like,
chemistry kit.
step one.
Yeah, like those chemistry sets you would get as a kid.
Coat weapon
Guide
and
on-
poison. 2. Insert weapon into enemy. 3. Profit.
Why is it in Gil's voice? I just imagine. For some reason, I imagine.
It was
one of the
Casimir reading
screamers.
it.
Oh, Casimir.
Casimir can read?
I'm
Yeah, you get
having
more
I'm having
proficient with the
the
poisoners
wizards
kit.
or the wizard
And-
and the cleric help me sound it out.
Carson.
Uh-huh.
Carson.
Yeah, if it takes a little longer because I'm still learning to read.
I'll end up making you have a check. I think normally there's not a check involved. I think what I'll do is make you make a check for it. It's up to you whether you want to do it once I outline the parameters. It's a basic poison, and you have people that can help you. So I'm going to make it, from you, no advantage or anything. A DC 10 check. You can justify whether you want to do it wisdom or intelligence or whatever.
I'll go wisdom.
It'll cost 50 gold pieces worth of components.
Still not
Because
cheap,
you're
but-
not proficient,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to be a little hard about it and say, like, if you fail that DC 10 check, components are wasted. Like, 'cause, you know, you can't just harvest whatever wasted things. But
Fair.
what I will do is, because the normal basic poison is a D4 of poison damage, and that's it, and that's really lame.
Yeah,
So it's pretty lame. So we'll make it the poisoned condition for 1 minute and all the same thing. So no poison damage, but poisoned condition, which is quite a bit more powerful. It's just makes it safe.
Yeah. Okay. I will take that. I will take
Take that chance?
That is a fair deal.
So 50 gold.
Okay. I get a +2 to this roll. I need an 8 or higher. That is a 14 on the die.
Give me. Oh, okay.
You did it. So you have basic poison. It's still a DC 10 Constitution on a save, but it's a poison condition. So it's kind of a, high risk, high reward situation.
Okay. Does that consume 50 gold of what I have now, or 50? Does that consume components that were contained in the poisoner's kit?
It's 50 extra gold, so 50 of whatever you have.
Okay.
Have you ever played Oblivion?
I have not actually.
In Oblivion,
I watched my cousin play it.
they break down the alchemy stuff, and you can have like a mortar and pestle and an alembic and all sorts of other stuff. And that's basically what the poisoner's kit is. It's all the vials and the stands and the little, little thing to burn something in and all sorts of stuff. And then you buy the components later.
Okay, so one vial of basic poison.
Yeah, and just instead of damage, it's poisoned condition.
DC 10 con save.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And they'll be able to repeat the save as normal to try and shake it off. Ooh, we got some bits. Some bits in the jar. Jacob is the cheerleader. He's always the cheerleader. He's the cheer captain.
I'm the bard. That's what I do.
I am the bard.
So do we want to just prepare attacks and go in all at once, or what do we want to do?
I climb the cave.
Oh my god.
I totally forgot
sorry.
that was your original question.
I love it so much. I thought the original question was just to have charcoal.
Yeah, the charcoal question. So yes, Alan. If you look at the map, I can actually kind of walk you through this a little bit. We'll go off grid a little bit for this.
Off the grid.
So you should be able to see my little yellow laser pointer.
Yeah.
You can like sort of walk around, climb up. This is a little flat area. It's a bit rocky across here. There is a slightly flatter area up above, and then it's a lot of rockiness. So you feasibly can get position on a flat area about 30 feet above the top of the cave, so about 50 feet from the ground.
Cool.
So it's a little far. If you wanted to get any lower or stand on any of these rocks, it's a little icy, so you may have to make a check if you want to do stuff up there. But for the most part, you can kind of just take a long detour around and uphill to get to this little flat area in the far bottom corner.
Okay. Just a hypothetical, how much would a 50-foot fall hurt?
4d6 worth.
Okay.
So
I
about
will go-
14 points of damage.
Cool. I go to over here.
Does anyone stop him before he walks away?
Can we maybe make a perception check to see?
You all see him walking away with a burning thing, a pot of coal.
No, where are you going?
To the mandible.
I don't. What? I don't. What?
We're still planning, bud.
What do you mean by the mandible exactly?
Yeah, what are you doing with that? What are you doing with the ball?
What are you doing with that?
It's ice.
What?
Fire.
Are you trying to smoke it out?
Is this Alan or is this?
So Norm holds up the pot of charcoal, and then in the other hand he holds up the glass, like one of the glass jars, with a net and oil.
I like it. Go ahead.
I would.
Listen, buddies, guys, fellas. Norm's gonna do what Norm's gonna do. We just
Not
have
if
to
we
sit
tell
back and
them.
let him.
What if we? Not if we tell them no.
Norm's gonna do what Norm's gonna do.
Okay.
Well,
Well,
let him live his life.
I certainly didn't have plans, so that sounds fun to me.
Well, no, why don't you do what you're gonna do at the same time we do what we's gonna do?
What were we gonna do exactly?
Okay.
Well, I suppose.
We trap the creature in the cave so it can't go flying out. Circling above us, shooting, without us
How do
being able
we-
to do anything about it.
How do we get out of the cave?
Well,
Get him.
we stand in the mouth.
So we attack from the mouth?
How far from the mouth of the cave was the creature?
Hold on.
Fairly deep into the cave, maybe
Okay.
30 feet or
Is there
so.
a measuring? Is there a measuring tool?
Yeah, it looks like a little triangle with a ruler at
I got
one
it.
end.
I got it. Well, pond.
Norm has an actual idea.
I don't believe it.
The thing before wasn't an actual idea. Now it's.
It's like
Yeah, he was gonna
it's
wing
like
it before.
over 60 feet to where it is. It's like
Yeah, because where that circle is, that's like the mouth of the cave, and then it goes deeper into the rock underneath it.
I have 5 nets that are doused in oil. Can I go over there, probably with the help of someone else, and like drape these nets over the top of the mouth of the cave so the manticore can't fly out? Like if he flies up, he'll hit the nets. that are
So
on-
they don't reach the ground, but they just kind of cut the mouth of the cave in half. and then
Yeah.
he'll
just
his
like
wings
the-
will catch on the.
Yeah.
It is rocky just over the mouth of the cave, so it will be icy and slick, so you'll need to be sure-footed and stealthy to be able to pull that off.
Both things that Norm is most certain.
And Norm might think of this. How are you going to attach the nets to the icy rock face without
You have any
hammering them
pitons?
into the rock?
I
Hammering
love that
them.
you-
May I suggest throwing the nets over the creature and lighting them
Yeah.
afire? That's like our
So-
opening move.
all right. Beginning to
That's what I'm
strategize.
thinking too, but like I don't know if that would stop it from flying.
right. Let's start thinking in what each of us can actually, what we're good at.
Well, Logan said
Uh,
the cave wasn't tall enough for it to make it out
Fly
if
out.
we
To
were
fly.
standing in the mouth of the cave.
So if
Okay.
people that are stronger, like if Norm and Casimir take the nets, throw the nets over it at the same time that people prepare ranged attacks. The thing is, I know Gil can do ranged attacks. I can do ranged attacks. Louis, what would you
Effectively,
prefer?
May I
I think-
propose that instead of me and Norm throwing, we have our NPC companions throw the nets, and Norm and I are standing there ready to clobber it,
I mean,
and the
Oh.
NPCs just like we just give them instructions to run like hell.
One of the guards yells over and says, "Did you say NPC?"
Yeah, you're not a person. You're a
You're
figment
not
of our
real."
imaginations. Well, we're
Oh,
a
God.
figment of somebody else's imagination, but in a way we are more real than you. You are one level removed from our faux reality.
I
Got
think
it?
this motherfucker's about to break the fourth wall.
No, it
Um,
stands for new person. Chill.
Well, you're asking me what I can do. I have a bow. As far as anything else, I can try to sleep with it. That's
Well, that didn't really work out very well for you last time. Anyway, Gil was
Louis,
trying to
I-
say
I'm-
something.
We're
Gil
all
was trying to
lying
say
in
something
bed.
before we get into it.
You pull that. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I was just gonna say I can quite up close and at a range with the bow, I'm not at disadvantage in close quarters. So
Okay. But I don't think that having our guard friends throw the net would be it wouldn't be a bad idea. I see what you mean. And then if everyone prepares some kind of attack, we all do at once. We all strike at the same time, and we do a fair amount of damage before the creature has a chance to retaliate. We take it down before it can escape. We all go get a drink afterwards.
Logan, are there any stalactites in the cave?
Ooh.
I don't remember ever saying so, which means Casimir and Norm didn't see any, but you could definitely sneak up and check.
No, I will not. Thank you.
You don't want to
I,
clunk up in your heavy
I
armor.
must say, I have the heaviest armor here. Every footstep is
I
a
also, I
thousand
mean, I also
shockwaves.
have like -1 perception, so I could have just not looked up.
I mean, that is also true.
Norm says there weren't stalactites and has double pink eye and like.
Yeah, eyes swollen shut.
I am good at looking at things, but that doesn't mean when we get closer, I can certainly look around if
He
you're
says,
trying to look for
licking
anything.
icicle.
It could be something that could be beneficial if we do see any. Knock it down, make it hit its head or something like that.
That sounds like a smart idea. I mean,
That's good. I like that.
Yes, especially if we have it trapped with a net, it's a sitting target. There you
it's true.
go. You did say that you're good at seducing this beast. It does have a face.
Oh,
So hear me
That's
out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
always a benefit, actually.
Hear me out. Things go really bad. I mean, really bad.
Okay.
Maybe you could talk to it. Maybe you could say, "Hey, let's not kill a bunch of people."
Okay. All right.
Are you
Hey,
suggesting
yeah.
that he's sleeping?
Maybe.
No. I'm not suggesting that he sleep with it.
Have you ever heard of
I mean,
Mr. Hands?
I'm not going to tell Louis what to do with Louis' body. That's
You're-
Louis' choice. But the thing is, Louis could put out of all of us here. Louis could probably work up a little bit of.
I don't think he can do that.
You could probably talk
I-
to him. I don't know.
You're really underestimating what I can do. All right. How do you think I survived in this cold area for so long? Do you looking at me? Do you see
want me
a
to
man
answer
who's
that
burly?
question?
Okay. Well, you know.
Louis,
No worries.
no hate.
Okay.
Truly,
Alright.
I do care for you. Did we not release you from restraints after you had been robbed not some 12 hours ago?
Did I die? I don't think so.
No, that was the other time.
Yeah. That was our initial meeting.
that is true. You know, it says something about me that I have such good connections that will help me in the situations in which I tend to run into. Really, I mean, if I had not charmed you in some kind of way, would it not be that I would still be in my little shop traveling around?
Well, blimey, I'm convinced.
Good, I'm glad.
I'm not. But
You never are.
what's the plan?
Let me roll a wisdom saving throw. I rolled a 3. Yeah, I'm thoroughly convinced.
I'm not. What's the plan?
I really want to catch.
I think Norm has the most of a plan right
So,
now.
Do we get the some of the guardsmen to try to throw one of the oil-covered nets, and then the rest of us prepare attacks, and we go ham all at once.
How many guardsmen do we have with us?
You have 12 plus Sheriff Southwell, so 13 total.
So
Okay,
I
I'll
would
hand
say
5
get-
of them a jar.
They all hold it like in a half circle.
and I say, hey, you're gonna go there. I'll point up, and then toss it on, right? And then whoosh. Yeah?
So are we setting the oil and nets on fire, or is someone else doing that? Do we have to set it on fire before we throw it?
Why are the NPCs asking better questions than you
Probably land it on the Mando, and then I got this charcoal you can toss over.
Ventus, you can do fire, right?
Yes.
You can do fire.
You want my bucket of charcoal?
I don't know if that will help. I mean, couldn't we just have torches that we drop down as well?
That could work
so
too.
what? Okay, how about instead of having them perform an acrobatic endeavor and climbing up the walls, what if they just throw the nets and the jars all at once, and as soon as they do that, I wait and then I launch some form of fire-based attack and I will ignite it instead of having them do that.
Hey, that's smart.
That's what I'm here for. So
But mine would
how
look
about this?
cooler, like cinematically.
Yes.
Make more sense to make us stand at the mouth of the cave or deeper inside.
I think that it would make sense if some of us are deeper inside, and then the rest of us are at the mouth of the cave, within
go deep.
some form of
I can't wait to find out, Norm. I really can't.
Ugh. I need some fantasy goodies right now.
I can give you some fantasy goodies.
No, you can't. Like the goody powder.
Oh, I thought you
Eddie,
meant like
Richard,
never mind.
Richard Eddie used it for his headache. The powder.
I thought you meant something else.
I was like,
No, that's certainly what I don't need. But
Does
the
any-
people that can attack from a range attack from the mouth of the cave. People that attack with a melee move forward into the mouth of the cave, and we all strike at once. Two-pronged assault. First assault is the nets, oil jars, fire attack after that. Does that make sense?
It's the
Yeah.
two waves. All the ranged people, and me, Norm, and the guards.
Yes.
Guards throw the net. You light it afire. Me and
Yes.
Norm up in the mix with it, and you rain in hell from back there. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
good. That's good.
Yes. Exactly.
hey, that sounds like a plan. I don't
Also-
know.
Also, we should probably just do it instead of talking about it. Like, it's right there. It's very dangerous for us to continue doing this. Can we get on with it?
How many guards are you utilizing for this?
I would
many does it
say,
take to
how
hold
many
a net?
jars?
How
I
many
have 5
guards?
jars.
You have 12 guards total, but or 5 jars.
Yeah.
And then you want people to also be able to watch your dogs.
I would say 2 guards to throw 2 jars, and then 2 guards to throw the net. And then they throw it and they run.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, because I gotta do this.
What do you
gotta
gotta do?
do anything.
You call forward some of the guards. They introduce themselves.
Oh, so you want us to feel bad if they die?
Yes. So first you meet Otis. He's in his 50s. He's human. He has a wife named Myrtle. They have 3 children who are basically on a potato-only diet, and they're not. They're struggling a little bit. He joined the militia to make ends
Keto, it'll
meet.
get you.
A potato-only diet.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You meet
This is
Gustav.
How many kids was that? How many
3 kids. 3 kids. Yes. You meet Gustav. He's a single guy. He's in his late 20s. You kind of get the vibe that he joined the militia for pride and honor and glory. He's a little bit of a
human?
problem.
Human?
Yes, as well. You meet Elaine. You imagine it's short for something, but she is Elven. She has been part of the guard for many, many years. She remembers 10 towns before the everlasting Rime. She's a bit quiet. And she kind of has that aloofness that makes you like, oh, you've got a story to you. And then the last 3 here, 2 of them are twins. One is named Vela. One is named Arvilla. Vela and Arvilla, they are twin dwarven women. One has a beard and one doesn't, and that's how you tell them apart. And then finally, rounding out the group, is a silver dragonborn named, who has taken on the name Benny.
Oh,
He's very young, maybe 19 equivalent in our years. Just recently joined the guard, more of an intern than anything else.
Unpaid intern.
Because I want you guys to feel bad if they die. So,
Okay, how many of y'all gone fishing?
they all raise their hands.
Alright, so you know how to throw a net?
They all nod.
Alright. So I'll just give, yeah. I need 5 volunteers to throw nets on the Mando.
No, there's there's people that are throwing the knives and people throwing the jars.
Well, I just had the jars just to hold it. You know, so it'd stay like in oil. Oh, yeah, I guess we could throw the jars too.
That's that. I,
thought
that's
that was
what
the
you
plan.
That was the plan.
No, my precious jars? Are you crazy?
They're Mason brand. I got it.
Yeah,
Jars. We'll throw the jars too.
these are nice.
Okay.
These are all happening at once.
So, you guys can divvy out. Vela and Arvilla sort of have a vibe of like Andy and Ollie from Bob's Burgers. They have like matching everything except they're one beard and one
They can throw the
non-beard.
nets
Yeah.
because they're working in tandem.
There's a moment where Benny steps out of the way and you notice they're holding hands.
Weird. So they throw the nets, and then the rest of 3 of them can throw jars.
So they're the Nets, the Otis, Gustav, Elaine, and Benny. All 4 of them, or do you just need 3?
We just need 3. We honestly we just need 4 people in total.
I'll tell him good hunt.
So would you rather keep the dad, would you rather keep the
That was
dad, the
clapping
good
so
old
hard.
boy, the intern,
know.
or the mysterious loner?
Oh,
I don't want the mysterious loner anywhere near my plan. Get out of here.
Okay, Elaine is
the
gone.
mysterious loader seems to be the one with the least to lose.
Maybe. I feel like you're gonna take the good old boy because if he
He
dies,
can
it's
throw
not
a
a
jar. Oh,
it's not a
he
loss.
can throw a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been throwing jars at.
Do they get like pensions?
No, God no.
Okay. So the family is destitute if he dies.
Yes, absolutely.
They will be their potato standard of living will fall.
They all have to split one potato instead of each
Yeah.
getting their own.
Baked potato.
Yeah, no salt, no
Nope,
butter,
nothing.
not even baked, boiled.
So, are you gonna take the dad? Is he gonna be throwing a jar of oily?
No,
net?
let's let the loner and the dragonborn, they can throw the jars. The dad can go back and
The-
Do
beat
they look
the other people.
extras or
Do-
straw?
Do what?
I don't want to overthink this.
Okay,
I
yeah,
think we
it's
just need to
fine.
go for it.
They're all the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like we don't need to overthink this. The dad can go back with everyone else. The 2 other people, the dragonborn and the mysterious loner elven lady, they can throw the jars. The twins can throw the net. Let's just roll with it.
Gustav
Hey,
gets mad and he's like, you freaking elves coming in here taking our jobs and
Okay,
All right,
maybe
why don't you go
Gustav should be
kiss
on
the, why don't you go
yeah.
fucking kiss the manticore on the mouth? You
Yeah,
bitch.
man, Gustav should be in the front line actually. He should be first in.
we've changed the plan. It's a Gustav heavy plan.
Yeah,
He's going right
We're
in.
just gonna strap all of the oil to Gustav.
Douse him in.
Yeah.
Okay,
Meat
so
and butter.
Arvilla
Quick
and Vela
question.
are the net people, you said.
Okay, quick question: do the guards have ranged weapons?
Yes, they have crossbows, bows, simple things.
What
So
I would
the
like
one-
them to do, what if they just throw their shit and they get out of there?
Yeah, and then once
could
they
do it.
get back to a safe distance, pulled out their
Yeah.
ranged weapons and start shooting.
We can do that. Are Villa and Vela are they all gonna be over the cave? Was that the idea?
Well, I thought we were gonna try to throw it on the sleeping manticore.
Oh, you're gonna sneak in and do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's what we will do. Is there any other preparatory things with your NPC friends and loved ones? And
What about the sheriff? What is it? What is? Remind me, is the sheriff a man or a woman?
Man,
Okay,
Sheriff Southwell.
What does he bring to the table? Does he have a ranged weapon? Or
Let me actually
anything like
let me
that?
consult the book because it actually does say what
I'll
stat
tell you
block.
what.
He has a separate stat blocker.
oh,
By separate,
you
I mean
what.
he's stronger than the other ones.
He's got the cricket from Men in Black.
Yeah, I
Jesus
just watched
Christ.
that movie the other day. I watched all 3 of them in a row the other day.
nice.
Just happened to be what was on TV, and I was
forgot
like,
that
hell
they were-
yeah.
They
Is
were
the cricket the tiny gun?
It's the little bitty one that looks
Okay.
like a needle on the end of like a colibri. Go look up a colibri, by the way. Starts with a K. Yeah, do
if-
it.
Oh yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you're
If
talking
you, as far as like
Look it.
statistical things, Sheriff Southwell has multiple attacks, slightly higher stats, but the thing he brings to the table is slightly better armor, more hit points, and more attacks.
Is he a melee fighter mainly?
Yes, because he has a crossbow with him, and so he can only do that once per turn. So he would be more of a melee person.
Okay, well I guess we'll consult him. Does he want to be up in the mix, or does he want to hang back and shoot?
He says he would actually want to stay with your dogs because in his
Oh,
experience
yeah.
this manticore usually has other animals in its command. He doesn't know about if it's sleeping and what that means, but he would rather kind of stay back at first to be able to monitor the situation from a slight distance, do a little backline commanding, and then if everything is okie dokie, he'll run in and help out. But he's kind of a little nervous about
Yeah.
the sleeping
Closing our
business.
backline.
Yeah, that seems. Why doesn't he take Gustav with him? So it's not if somebody comes to the dogs, there's not just one person.
He rolls his eyes. Yeah,
Gustav?
I'll take Gustav.
Oh, okay.
And Gustav is like, I'll defend these dogs so well. Not a single one's gonna have a scratch on him. Won't even shed a single hair. Hits his sword against his shield.
The South will rise again.
Jesus Christ.
3
All
for
right,
Dale.
Netheril
good
will
job.
rise again.
Netheril.
Jesus.
That one's a lore cut. So.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so
Yikes, bro.
so here's what we'll say. You guys, I'll give you free reign. Sort of pre-entering the cave, place yourselves wherever you want to be, because once you start entering the cave, it's going to be like a moment-to-moment, spy movie, beat-by-beat kind of thing. So go ahead and place yourselves before you give the hand signal to enter the cave, start throwing nets and lanterns.
Let's see. Do I have anything I want to cast?
Yeah, and if there's anything you want to cast preemptively, you'll probably need to do that before you approach, because, making sounds and whatever to cast spells will definitely get attention.
My goal was to be. I mean, my whole thing is to be up close and also around people. So
How far into the mouth of the cave is the manticore again?
Maybe 30 feet.
30 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's plenty of space. Question: the large rock that I placed my token on at
Yes.
the moment, how tall is it? Does it have enough surface area that I could use it as a vantage point? And the reason why I ask how tall it is because, elevation and making it weird to see through, but that also gives me an opportunity to shoot over the people that are going to be in front.
We'll sort of take we'll take a square approach or a cube approach to this. So whereas like this rock over here, it's very small. It's only about a 5.5 foot square. So it's maybe 5.5 feet tall. This one, it's like a 10 by 15. So, 10 to 15 feet tall. So as far as seeing into the mouth of the cave, you'll be fine once it hits the mouth of the cave.
Okay. It also allows me the opportunity to not shoot my friends in the ass.
Yeah, see over their heads a little bit.
So.
Okay. And so for Ventus and Louis,
I place my bucket on the ground.
they all hold their nets and jars.
Alright, let me get in position.
I feel like Louis, although has a bow, really is uncomfortable with it.
Can I
because
fit on top of
These abilities.
that rock with Gil?
On the rock with Gil?
Ooh.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay next to him, and I'm going to ready a spell at the same time he readies his arrow.
The vibes
Ooh.
that gave me, it that just blew me back for some reason. It took me back to playing Modern Warfare 2.
Wow.
And you're trying to like hide in brush with your sniper rifle, your intervention. You got all the perks, you got the FMJ, you got everything equipped. And then one of your teammates stands upright next to you, making you and them fully visible. That's what I'm imagining is like Gil's getting into like this kind of like sniper position on the rock, and then Ventus is standing next to him with his big
Like,
wizard hat.
Finger gun out.
Yeah, that's just what the image came to mind.
My stealth is decent.
It's
Don't
very specific. I imagine that's not what you're doing, but that was just the idea that came to mind. After Gil so specifically was like, what's the height of this? I'm gonna get up on this rock and then standing right there. Okay.
I'll summon my hammer.
I'll go down here then. I'm not gonna
You
ruin
can
No, no,
do
no,
that.
no,
That's
no.
you're fine.
Do what you wish.
I'll hang out with Gil.
Yeah, go hang out with Gil.
You know what? Nah, I'm going up close.
Oh, are you gonna have shillelagh?
I am gonna shillelagh.
Shillelagh.
Actually, let me see. Is shillelagh? Shillelagh is just. It's not concentration. Nope.
Yeah, I don't
Cool.
think so.
So
I'm gonna.
go ahead.
I'm gonna hunter's mark right before we start pummeling this thing.
So we'll kind of get into that. So hold your hunter's mark for just 1 second. So Vela and Arvilla are the two rope people, right, Alan?
Yeah.
You had two rope people and then two people, oily nets and bottles.
Yeah.
So follow me here. The two rope people, I'm gonna put a little yellow ring around them. The two flaming net people, I'm gonna put a little orange ring around them, just so we kind of remember what they're doing. And so they are sneaking in ahead of you. That's the
Right.
plan? Okay.
And then they're gonna run back and shoot.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be close enough to them where like I can use my extended range to provoke some ire
Yeah.
if things go south and give them some cover to get away.
Okay.
I too want to be where the people are.
I want to be where the people are.
I wanna see.
Yo, that's like poetry, bro.
Yeah, right?
Is that from the Little Mermaid?
Yeah, that makes sense. Louis
What?
quoting the Little Mermaid over there.
I wanna be
Yeah.
I want to be
alive.
where the people are.
She's
Except
honestly
it's
not as nice
Icewind
as you
Dale. There's
think.
nothing but snow, so it's like this knucklehead trout woman floating through the lake.
I have
Okay.
met Ariel. She's not that great.
she's
She's okay.
yeah, she's fine.
It
You know, we
kinda
dated in
stuck
high
up.
school. It
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
wasn't anything special.
Whatever.
Went to prom with her. Um.
King Triton, overprotective.
So, this will make or break what happens next a little bit. Because, Gil and Ventus, you are fine. I will need Casimir, Louis, Wynn, Norm, and then the 4 guards to make a stealth check for me. And if you have disadvantage, remember that. I don't like this weird giggle.
16.
Also 16.
5.
Oh boy.
13. That was pretty good. I enjoy that.
So that was 16 and 16?
Yeah.
And then what were the other two?
13.
13?
5.
5. Oh, wow. I actually have to... Okay, so this was a group check, but I actually have to... Okay. So
some
they
math.
equal. The twins, the Dwarven twins, both failed. Elaine and Benny both succeeded. 3 of you succeeded, and 1 of you failed. So over half succeeded.
Mhm.
So the whole group is fine.
Nice.
That was close. That was a real woo. By the hair of Vella's beard, you did it. So the 4 guards sneak their way in. Oily nets. What?
What's the size of the manticore?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Weather boy.
Do you have dark vision, Norm?
Nope.
Is it dark in here?
It's dark in the cave, yes.
Oh,
And not dim,
that's
it
what I
is
wanted
dark
to
in the
hear.
cave. Yes.
That's what I wanted to hear.
Activated his trap card.
You activated my trap card. Okay, so they sneak in, and because of all those stealth checks, we will go ahead, roll initiative, and start with the surprise round. So go ahead, everybody, roll initiative for me. I'll keep track of it on a little.
Do I get a hunter's mark before initiative starts?
Yes, because the stealth check was successful, you do get a hunter's mark. Ahead of
Okay,
time.
just making the sure.
I rolled a 16 on initiative, but I'm gonna wait until the guards have. Is it possible for me to wait until the guards have thrown the net to do my thing? Or I guess I can hold my action on my turn.
Yeah, we'll ready something.
That's how that works.
We'll get all the numbers and stuff listed out, and then we'll see what happens. So Jacob, what did you say you got?
16.
Oh, yeah, everyone else.
Logan, I have a question.
Yes.
Similar to Louis wanting to throw Hunter's Mark out, can I drop a Divine Favor on myself as we go?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
And while you're speaking, what did you get for initiative?
8.
Woo. We'll keep going. Carson, what did you get?
I got a 15. And as we go in, I just like melt away into the darkness, and you just hear the little clink of a vial scraping against metal as I apply the poison to my weapon.
Awesome. Louis, Travis, what'd you get? I think you're muted.
I got muted.
God.
I got a 15, I believe.
Oh, sweet. I got Jacobs, Xavier.
20.
20.
Hell yeah.
Norm.
17.
Got Gills. That's all of y'all. The guards, I'll divide them into 2 little groups. The twins here. With a +0, they got a 7. And it's perfectly fine for you guys to, if all of you want to just hold your turn until they get all their stuff done. That's totally fine. I'm gonna put oil down for the other team. Team Oil. Also
Team
got a
Oil?
7. Wow. Okay, then I'm just gonna make it guards.
Cool. Yeah, that was serendipitous.
Right. So I'll move some of these around so that way they are somewhat in the right order in case you want to reference them.
Mm-hmm.
In case you get real strategic. Down a little bit. Alrighty. Does anyone want to act before the guards throw their stuff?
I mean, why are we waiting for the guards to do it first?
I'm waiting to ignite the oil and shit.
That's like
Oh.
our
You guys don't have
opening, our opening
Okay.
salvo.
Yeah, so what we
Okay.
can do is sort of start with the guards and then move down the list.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with just hitting them. I mean, it's not like anything's. It's still a surprise round. I could just.
Yeah, no, go for it. Like, it's not gonna change anything.
Yeah. You know what? The guards can go. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care.
I mean,
I
like,
don't care.
narratively, it makes more sense for that, but it also is very funny for Louis to just be like, yeah!
I got him.
I was
I
trying
would
to
like
think
to-
of that in like a normal day to like a real life thing, and I'm thinking of something like graduation, where it's just like I could just walk up on stage and get my diploma before everyone else. It's
Really and honestly,
doesn't
it's like
matter.
in a video game where the countdown is happening, right? It goes down to like 3, 2, 1, and there's always one person who pulls on 1 rather than on 0, or on 2 rather than 1. There's always that one person. I feel like that's Louis.
That's
Louis
definitely
like,
Louis.
Okay.
So we've been at it for over an hour, so we'll take a quick couple minutes to refill pee and whatever else, and then we'll launch into. actual
Everybody refill your pee.
I'm doing that right now,
Hey,
actually.
gas up that old bladder.
Gas up the old bladder, as they say.
Still amazing.
I like that. That's how we get back into D&D. Is just somehow tied to
To whatever we were just talking
some
about.
stupid segue.
Good segue.
Okay, I got music going. I think.
What's Jess playing right now, Travis?
Stardew Valley. I don't love whatever's happening with my mic. This is not good.
Is it not picking up the correct one?
I'll say you sound echoey,
Okay,
so
well,
it might be a
that's-
wrong mic or something if you're using
It's
it.
definitely the right mic. It's probably doing something. Nope, definitely not doing something wrong. We figure that out.
It's definitely nope. So, oh, now I gotta pull up some information about nets. So we've got 2 regular nets and 2 oil nets. That's right.
That was just 2 oil nets. I don't know how this is working anymore.
What were the 2 twins doing? I've already forgotten.
There's
Yeah,
oil
they
nets
were
and then there's fire pots.
Yeah. It was like
I thought that
there were
Text.
2.
Text.
Yeah, there were 2 oiled nets being held in 2 oil jars. We remove the nets from the jars. The nets are being thrown, and then the jars are being.
Oh, whoa. Okay, all
Essentially
right. I'm picking up
strapping
what
it
you're
down
putting
and
down.
priming it to get fucking torched.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's fine. I'll just get some new jars.
You'll just get some new guards.
You're gonna stimulate the local economy by blowing up manticores.
That's what we have to do.
that's capitalism, brother.
It's about to be a laissez-faire clusterfuck here in the far north. Good luck.
A ranged attack with an improvised weapon. Oh, lordy. Alright, so we'll have the 2 net people throw their oiled-soaked nets. One is a natural 16, the other is a 12 total, which does not...
I get an
admit-
advantage because it's prone and asleep.
Oh, that's...
And
Thank you for... yeah, that's what-
Incapacitated.
Yep, that was my whole intention, and I totally forgot to roll an advantage.
Technically.
it's
So
technically an auto crit, you know?
the 2 nets,
If it's a melee attack.
the 2 nets hit. 1 flask of oil misses, and the other flask of oil hits. So it is covered in 2 nets, covered in oil, and soaked in another thing full of oil. And immediately it gets hit with all these things and lets out a what? As it starts to scramble up to its feet, and you guys can start taking your turns, starting with Quinn.
I didn't know they could talk.
And of course, the guards run back to basically where they're like about their current position.
Okay. So I am going to up to 3 creatures of my choice. Perfect. I am going to look at the 3 creatures near me: Louis, Casimir, and Norm, and grab bless.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say, you guys got this. Go team. I'm just gonna take a big step backwards.
I'll put a little teal ring around you guys to remind me that you're blessed.
Ooh.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed. That's what he does. Win takes a selfie for his Instagram with all you guys and does hashtag blessed in it. He blessed.
What's up?
What's up? What's up to all my loyal fans back in back under the sea? Awesome.
And yeah, that's how long I'm gonna do for my turn right now.
Sweet, sweet.
Check our
Norm.
phones. We see all the new followers we've gotten.
Casimir is definitely like the person who would have like one picture and it's too close, like a dad.
Either that, or it's like a years-long account of like very detailed, like, you know, here's this, like, damn, I'm building whatever, and it has like 0 likes.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to this place. They didn't have enough lumber, so I had to go to this town. It's like really detailed account of every aspect of the build.
Yeah, 0 followers.
Here's a bird feeder I made. I haven't seen any
Yeah.
birds since. Anyway, Norm. The thing
hey,
is
me.
soaked in oil and nets.
Oh, so it's not on fire yet?
It's not on fire yet.
I'm gonna do that. I'm preparing to do that.
You're doing that? Okay.
You
Is
can
it
wait until after
standing?
him.
Is the manticore standing?
It is not standing. It is restrained on the ground in a sort of a prone position.
Can I reserve what I'm gonna do until it's on fire?
Definitely. We'll just skip
Cool.
on ahead to Ventus. I think the fire boy.
Chromatic orb, 2nd level.
10-4.
That is. That wouldn't be an advantage or anything, right?
It balances out in a weird way because it is prone, it's a ranged attack, but it is restrained, so it's just a straight roll.
23.
Definitely that'll do it.
And sorry, I'm getting used to actually using D&D Beyond for spells. It's the other thing I use D&D Beyond for. I don't normally use spells. Let's see. That is 4d8 fire damage.
Woo!
Alright. It is 20 points of fire damage. As to paint a picture, I'll close my eyes, hold my hands out in front of me, and kind of these green vapors of wind kind of coalesce around me and kind of heat the air in front of me, and I will collect that energy and kind of thrust it in front of me in a projectile towards the manticore to explode that oil. That is my turn.
Oil soaking its double icy coat, and the nets erupts into flames. And it immediately yells out possibly some curse words. In sort of groggy, out of hibernation fashion. And it is aflame. And Norm, you said you want to do something once it was on fire.
Yeah, because I'm done. I don't have any bonus actions because I'm a wizard.
I'm a wizard. I don't have any bonus actions.
Is it still prone?
It is still prone, yes.
Okay, cool. That's fine. I'm going to. Can I see how big it is now?
It is a large creature.
All right. I'm gonna use my hammer thing.
Hammer thing.
And I'll hit it.
Throwing or running up and schwacking at it?
Run up and smack.
Run up and schmack. You will have advantage.
Oh, what's my 24?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's 1d8 plus my attack or my strength. Right? 5 plus 4 is 9
Okay.
damage, and then I'm gonna do. Can I use hammering horns? So immediately after you hit with melee attack, you can use your bonus action to shove target with horns. Target must be no more than one size larger within 5 feet.
I guess. Make an athletics check.
I think. Wait. Oh, it says a strength save of 8. So it's 14.
Six.
Sweet.
So you crash it up against the back of the cave,
Yeah, push it 10 feet.
further back. It didn't have much farther to go. It's kind of curled up at the backside anyway, so you just smash it against the back wall. And it yells out again, this time kind of directly in your face with its strange humanoid face and multiple rows of teeth. And as it smashes against the wall, it snaps back, looking at you, fiery net in front of its face. It has this sort of wild, narrow-pupiled look in his eyes, and he growls and smiles at you with this big, toothy grin, like a shark almost. It says, "I love steak!" and like drools ready to lunge at you.
I smile back. I'm vegetarian.
Casimir, you're about
Okay,
40 feet now from this fellow.
Cool. Yeah, one question: how far from the Manticore does the fire cast light?
That is a fabulous question. Anything actually says, so we'll kind of go with torch rules, which is 20 feet bright, 20 feet dim, I believe. So basically the whole cave is now either in bright light or dim light.
Okay, well there goes my Bloom Stalker thing, but it's all good. I'm just going to, I guess, kind of circle around it, fanning out, and I'm just gonna say under my breath, in Yeti, not the only one looking for Frost to their aid, and I speak a magic word, and kind of the air around my bill hook kind of, and the poison itself kind of freezes over and takes these little sharpened ice crystals as I take an attack on it.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that first attack is an 18.
That'll do it. And that's at advantage because it still is prone and stuff like that.
Yep, the second roll was a 2, so I'll take that. And then, as part of my Dread Ambusher feature, at the start of your first turn of each combat, my walking speed increases by 10 feet, and if I take the attack action, I can make one additional weapon attack. So I'll make another attack. Yeah, that's a 22, so that's gonna hit as well.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so first off, I need a con save DC 10 against the poison.
It's a bit hardy.
Yeah, I assumed it would be.
It had a +3 to con. It rolled a 6 for a 9.
Oh,
Oh, you know, I don't take many risks in D&D, but
That
I
paid
took
off.
one. Cool. Yeah. So, yeah, as I stab into it, at the end of my bill hook, the fire kind of melts the poison a little bit, and disperses it into its veins. I'm also going to mark it.
Curse,
it-
please. He's already dead. No, he's not. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, so mechanically it is not cold damage, but I'm flavoring it as essentially like the magic from my bill hook. It like spreads out into the blood that I've drawn from this wound and freezes it, causing it like physically to spike into the wound and cause further damage.
Almost like
Okay.
shrapnel.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And because of my Dread Ambusher feature, I also get an extra D8 of
Stop.
damage on on this attack.
So, yeah, roll your... So it was 2 attacks. Roll the damage for the first one
Okay.
first. So the attack plus the Dread Ambusher stuff, because I might have a little flavor as you go into the second attack.
The Dread Ambusher extra D8 hits on the second attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he is the favored foe first time. Okay, so the favored foe only hits once per turn. But cool, that is 7 plus 4, so 11 points of damage.
Okay.
Cool. And then attack number 2 is not particularly great, but that is an additional 7 points of damage. As I just kind of stab into it and then twist it and kind of use the hook part to like open up a further kind of more shallow wound as I pull out, and I just circle around and prepare for another hit, and I think that will be my turn.
You notice that with each hit, its icy, like, undercoat begins to shatter and break off. It's definitely getting weakened, especially with the fire on it, which will take effect here in just a moment. But first, it is Louis's turn. Norm and Casimir are both in the cave with the beast while it's on fire and covered in flaming nets, but you were back at the mouth of the cave with Wynn.
Could I actually... You said dim light?
You want to move backward toward the dim light area?
Yeah, I'll be in the dim light.
So you run up into the bright torchlight, but then slink back away into the dimness.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shillelagh it.
Shillelagh. Alright, so you run forward, go and give me some attack rolls at advantage because it's, you know, all sorts of ink. Not because
22 to hit. Yeah.
uh-huh.
Which okay. So I have favored foe. I also have dreadful strikes. So, or not favorite foe. Sorry, I have hunter's mark. So first, I'm going to big bonk with the shillelagh.
Is that what
8
Louis calls it?
damage.
The big bonk?
Yeah, the big bonk. Yeah.
The big
He's just the big bonk. Then the dreadful strike. 12 damage total, and then the hunter's mark. So 16 points of damage.
I imagine every time you summon your shillelagh, the words "big bonk" are actually carved into the head of the stick.
It actually becomes very phallic, and then it goes around it forms a head. of the penis.
And Big Bonk is like, are we?
The
Is it gonna
words
be like
around it.
like a length tattoo, or is it gonna be like an around tattoo?
No,
A
no,
length tattoo.
it's kind of like, like in Shillelagh, in my mind at least, the staff that you're using kind of lights up in just like a holy aura or like a earthy aura.
So is it like neon Big Bonk?
It's neon big bunk around the top of it.
Have you
to,
guys
like-
played Saints Row the Third?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Thank you, Austin.
You are welcome. I've never played the game, but I know exactly.
You know
what you're
exactly
talking
what
about.
I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes. That's basically
so-
what he tries to make it look like. Yes.
So, I guess Travis, you can describe sort of Louis' method, his approach to this powerful single hit with his shillelagh. If there's
Yeah, I
anything
think
special,
I think he legitimately, because now it looks very phallic. I think legitimately he just like
it's a bonk.
he still doesn't really understand combat still very well. It's very awkward for him. He'd rather smash than smash, so he slams down the staff on the Manicore's head. It's not Manicore, right? It is Manicore.
It's a Manicore. Yep.
Okay. On top of the Manicore's head, and just kind of like looks awkwardly while it happens the whole time. He's just like, okay. Yeah.
So, you bonk, and it's almost anime-esque as this one big bonk on its head, its undercoat of ice sort of sheds off of it as it shakes and recoils from your hit, and it sheds its sort of protective hardened layer of its fur, dropping its armor class some as it reels back and sheds off, and it melts as it passes through the fire. Then it's the Manticore's turn, who is surprised and ends his turn on fire.
And is poisoned, so anything it tries to do, it does at disadvantage.
There's not much it can do because it's still surprised and all that kind of good stuff. And let me double check a wording here, because it might just be fire. That might be its turn. It's just nonstop fire. This works out kind of perfectly. So, I can't believe how this works out. Due to all of the oil and the nets and all that good stuff, a single flask of oil covers a 5-foot square area and deals 5 points of damage at the end of that creature's turn when it ends its turn in it. It got hit by 3 things. It is a 4 square creature, 4 times 5 foot square. So it is technically in 3 squares of burning oil, so it takes 5 damage for each. However,
Okay.
it lets out one of the most blood-curdling, dying shrieks you have ever heard. Like, it's the kind of scream that you can hear its throat tearing as he lets out this scream. As the nets burn away, it burns at its fur, burns away at that icy undercoat that's melting away. It lets out a scream, and with its dying last moment, all of the icy shards in its tail, the tail curls up and goes and lets out every single icy shard at once.
Uh-oh.
The Manticore falls on the ground in a burning heap. But a swarm, a flurry, a cloud of icicles sails at the people in the cave for the most part. Yes, Alan.
Can I use my reaction to move in front of the closest person to me and then use absorb elements?
I also have absorb elements.
That's just a you thing. So you would just be able to cast on
okay.
yourself. You wouldn't be able to protect someone else.
Damn. Can I still use it?
You can use it.
Is the Manticore making like some kind of attack at this a lot, like dying breath?
Yes.
Can I give it disadvantage
How so?
with silvery barbs?
Is that a reaction?
Yes. Within
What's
60
the
feet.
range on it?
Within 60 feet.
Because you are 60 feet away from the mouth of the cave, and it was 40 feet within the cave.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't. I guess that was off screen. I
Yes,
couldn't
they're
see.
in the cave a ways.
I
Do
was.
we-
It was near where people were considering.
Yeah, we just don't have a interior cave thing, so we just didn't.
Right. Never mind then.
Do we have time to do anything for this, or is it kind of
Nope,
just like
this is just at the end of its turn. That's happening. So if you have reactions such as absorb elements, that's perfectly acceptable. And we may end up switching the maps a little bit because of what's about to happen. Tail spikes. I don't know how to do this very well because he didn't get a single turn in, and he is letting loose all of the spikes that he didn't use, which is all of them. I did not expect that to happen. So, each of you, I'm going to split it perfectly evenly. Louis, Casimir, and Norm, you are each getting attacked by 8 of his spikes.
Would absorb elements only work on one of those attacks?
What is the wording of it?
Wait, you have resistance to the triggering damage type until the start of your next turn.
So you
No,
will
it
take
works.
half damage on some of it. And here's what... This is going to be convoluted. I hope you all will bear with me for a second. I'm going to be taking notes because it's going to get a little bananas here. I'm going to write a K, an N, and an L on this little sticky notes. I'm going to start rolling some dice and drop some.
Damn, I gotta start thinking of a new character.
You got to start thinking of a new character. Casimir, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 14.
Norm, what is your armor class?
16.
Okay, and Louis, what is your armor class?
15.
As long as you don't die twice
As long as you don't die twice.
today.
Wow. Okay. Wait, what was yours, Louis?
15. I got armor. I think
Oh, that's
at the
right. You
last-
bought armor. I was like, I thought it was like 10 for a while.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
sitting
no, I
around
kinda-
12.
Yeah, it was
I,
low.
had- I bought breastplate. That was the one thing I bought.
Yeah, the one breastplate left.
Yeah.
Rip.
It was.
Um,
It's good you bought it.
So Ventus and Gil, I'm going to need you to remember this and take it to heart. You are about, we'll round it off and say 60 feet from the cave. So to get into the cave, you will need to dash, unless you have some kind of means of doubling your movement. When you are just outside of the cave, so you can just move into it whenever you see fit. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm going to move us to a little blank sheet. I'm going to draw a circle that represents this cave. I don't want to fill it in. Because something happens.
Can I Misty Step?
You could definitely do that and get into the cave. Yes. And now I'm going to draw a line to basically show the cave entrance. I know this is a little convoluted. I just did not expect this to happen, so bear with me.
Well, for once we had a good plan.
Yeah,
So I
you
guess
you
that's
fucked me up. You fucked me up a lot.
Like, bro, neither me or the Manticore got to take a turn.
I know, and technically the surprise round isn't even over yet.
Yeah.
So
bound to happen
eventually. So Manticore body, backside of the cave, on fire, burning. We've got a Norm up close and personal. We've got a Casimir who is backed up a little ways, and then we've got a Louis that is up close and personal. And then of course we've got a Ventus that's a little ways away. I'm just placing you guys kind of arbitrarily back there, and then a Win outside of the cave. Now the reason why this is important. Casimir, you take the brunt of these spikes.
Good.
Being the farthest away, it is a ranged attack. More chance that they would fly and hit you. So,
all good by me.
out of all the attacks I rolled, only one was a natural 20, but it was on you, Casimir.
Good.
So, you are having your cold damage. So I'm going to roll the normal piercing damage first.
Oh, okay. So there's piercing and cold. Cool.
Yes, because the icicles still stab you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
That's fair.
Just the piercing damage.
Mhm.
With one natural 20 baked into the 5 that hit. 40 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Yeah, that puts me out.
The cold damage is baked into those attacks, so it doesn't add anything extra.
Okay. Good thing I halved it, because
For Norm, who is
Yeah.
also having it. Oh, shit. Just the piercing is 17.
I take all of that.
You take all of that. And then the cold is 8, have to 4.
Okay.
And then Louis, who only takes 2 of the spice.
Yeah, boy.
All of it,
Still probably gonna knock me out.
7 plus. Wait. No. That was wrong. 19 points total.
I'm still up.
All right. So no one's
And
down?
and the ones that missed.
Where are the guards dead?
No, they did not go in. They're way back there.
Okay, good.
They boots, good boogie.
As the icicles reach sort of the end of their path, they stop short and grow wings and arms and legs and turn into flying little icy imps with that same sort of evil grin that the Manticore had.
Huh.
Yes, Austin. That drop that hand
Can I
up there.
narrate something real quick?
Do what?
Can I narrate something real quick?
Absolutely, please do while I get some of these tokens ready.
Cool, yeah. So in a flash of a second, I realize what's happening as the Manticore is doing this, and I speak a word in Yeti, and place a hand on myself, and like in an instant, and the frost accumulates to form this kind of protective layer around me, and then just in a second, like, I'm just fucking inundated with icy spines, which you can see the layer takes some of the damage, but I just kind of sway there for a second, and then like spray blood outward and blood backwards, and like what is a deafening just sound that rings out through the cavern.
Oh boy.
So many.
Yep.
Oh no. Oh no.
So, here we are. The Manticore's death throes, releasing basically little egg pods of little ice elementals, ice methods.
Does any of the poison like seep into the tail?
And all of the ice
Carson,
methods-
this will be based on your poison. Roll your whatever check you made previously. Roll the same check. I think it was a wisdom check.
Yeah, sure.
DC 15.
Wisdom check.
Yep.
Exactly 15.
This one dies before reaching its final spot. This one does, and that one does.
Woo!
All right.
That's something. Small
Something.
victories.
Okay. I need to roll initiative for these guys. I'm just gonna put it. I need to copy the. 1 second. I need to copy the previous initiative count, and you guys can chat amongst yourselves for.
That's showbiz, baby.
Yeah.
That's a
apparently.
great sign when no one says anything.
Yeah, I love clearly the intention of this was just like, it fires off a couple around and you have to deal with, oh no, 2 little ads. Not
Not all of them at once.
all of
Not
them
a
at once.
shotgun blast of
Yeah.
That's showbiz, baby.
ice.
They rolled like boo boo though.
Like,
So, they got a 4 for their initiative, so they are going absolute fucking last on their turn whenever that happens. But, so that was the end of the Manticore's turn. That'll take it to Gil. You all of a sudden
Hello.
see some like little ice creatures popping out of the cave mouth, but probably in the dim light of the burning Manticore, you probably saw this sort of barrage. You saw Casimir fall. You saw your friends kind of stagger back. Kind of a whole show in there.
This went to shit very quickly. Ventus, I hope you're comfortable with close quarters. And Gil is just gonna immediately slide off and start looking forward. He's not gonna sprint. You said some of them are out. Some of those are actually outside with wind, right?
Yeah, so, for what it's worth, I don't know how far you actually are. So you're actually a little
Said
bit,
60 for me.
we're gonna call that black, like that hard black line, that's kind of cutting through that circle, the mouth of the cave, which is
Okay.
60 feet. We'll call that an even 60.
Yeah.
So, then those other ones that are outside of the cave, 50 feet, 45 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna slide off the rock and 30 feet forward, and like basically like fire on the move. So like quick crouch, fire, and then keep going.
Okay.
And shoot at the one to Wind's left.
Over there.
The one to his. What would? Yeah.
Sure.
Rad. That's a 19.
That's a 19. That'll definitely do it.
Cool. Jesus Christ. I love how instead of on like a big creature, on the little tiny ice imp dude, I rolled almost max damage. 11, 19 points of piercing damage. I rolled a 6 and a 5, and then I get a D4 from Divine Favor, and I rolled a 4.
It falls. It's still alive, but it has one of your massive arrows through it. So it goes from being like this kind of like little floating ice gremlin to being what looks like a small child with a giant arrow through its stomach. And it just like looks around. It's still up, and then it's sort of doing like a patting at its chest thing, looking at this arrow like, is it bad? Is it bad? You know, it's still up, but good God, just barely. Okay? It's just a flesh wound. Good Lord. Okay, anything else?
No, because all my other bonus actions are concentration and kind of neat.
Actually, I'm going to leave your token exactly where it is because that's 30 feet away, and that works out perfect.
Rad.
Okay. That will take it now to the guards, who kind of already took their surprise round turn, so I'll skip them because of weirdness. Then the ice methods aren't surprised, so they will do some gunk. They're gonna move in on Win a little bit.
I mean, technically, didn't they just do their turn? They spawned.
Is that a turn? Is spawning a turn?
And they hit us.
They should have summoning
Being
sickness.
born takes a lot of
Summoning
work.
sickness. This is Magic the Gathering. I forgot we were.
They weren't even in the turn for the summoning. For
Win, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as one of them blows a cold, frosty breeze at you.
It's just the only thing that
9.
blows.
A 9?
Mm-hmm.
It was a DC 10, my guy. But you take half because you have
Yes,
golden
I'm
resistance, right?
resistant.
Did you bless yourself before? Or
No, I bless y'all.
Okay.
I only
So
had
you
3.
take half, so 4 points of damage. It's already halved.
I immediately start weeping.
Openly weeping. The ones in the cave are going to fly in and go to the targets that they missed the first time. Oh, and I forgot Win's attacks on those 3, so I'm just gonna roll a bunch of stuff right now. But a couple of you are resistant to cold, so we'll see how that goes. We'll start. I'm gonna go left to right. Louis. Yep. So 2 out of 3 hit.
I'm down.
Oh, I think we. Actually, I don't want
We'll see. We'll see.
to. So they're small. They don't do too much damage, but they're just a bunch of them. So we've got that first one is 5 points of damage, which has some cold mixed into it, and then the other one is 8 points of damage, which has some cold mixed in.
It's so funny that you thought I wouldn't be down.
Are you down?
Yeah, of course I am.
Okay, so I'm gonna put a little red ring around Casimir, and a little red ring around Louis. Norm, I'm gonna be doing the same things here, but Norm is a little bit resistant, so that is a natural 17. That was 5. Oh, 5. That was a natural 16. So Norm, 2 hits on you. Each one +1, so that is 6 points of normal slashing damage, and then 4 have to 2 points of cold damage.
Okay. Alright, I'm still alive.
Still alive. Win, the 3 that crowded around you.
Oh wait, I have to roll for concentration for bless.
Yes, please do.
Oh, 20. There we go. We're good.
One is a natural 17, so I think that does it.
That, nope, 17 misses. My AC is 18.
Well, it's a natural 17, so it's a
No, there's nothing added.
dirt. It's a dirty 20.
No.
And the other one was a dirty 22.
Stop.
So You are resistant to cold, so the normal slashing damage from their claws is 7 points of slashing.
Yeah.
Plus, ooh, geez, maximum cold damage, but have to 4 points of cold damage.
So 11 points.
That little ice elementals. Holy cow. Takes it back up to win.
Oh, cool. Well.
Oh,
and
I think
got
you need some more
hurt.
concentration checks.
Yeah.
I think you just need to. I think it's 2 concentration checks. You just need to roll higher than a 10. Or 10 or higher.
Passed the first one, failed the second one, so Bless is gone.
Bless is gone.
Bless is gone.
Rest in pepperonis.
Thanks. That's okay. Cool. Well, it's time. I mean, listen, I'm getting surrounded. They're stabbing into me. What else am I gonna do, you know? Cool. Time to turn into the Warrior of Twilight. I immediately, eyes go to the back of my head. A 30-foot radius dome of dim light appears from me, and my voice lowers like 12 octaves. 30 feet away from me. Let's see. Okay, so they're still a little bit away. Casimir is down, right?
Yeah. Him and
Casimir and Louis are down.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's
That's
okay.
It's fine.
I'm going to. Bonus action, 60 feet away. Let's see how far away those babies are. Okay. Casimir. Boom. Oh, healing word you.
Hell yeah.
You are back up 5 points. Hope that's enough to do something.
Fuck yeah.
That was my action, and I'm ending my turn, of course, within my own dome, so I'm going to grant myself. What is it? It's like 1d6? Yeah, 1d6 plus 3 hit die. Which will be. Points of bonus.
Okay.
10 HP.
Okay. Norm, it is your turn. You're surrounded by little ice gremlins, and your companions are. Well, one of them is fallen, one is getting up.
Is the Manticore corpse still on fire?
Yes.
Okay, I have an idea. I don't know if I can do it. Can I use one of my net jars to cover all the methods around me with it, and then do action surge and use control flames to move the fire from the Manticore to the net?
I
That's incredible.
absolutely adore the idea. I have to put my foot down just because oil can, like a flask, a little jar of oil can only cover a 5-foot square. So as much as I
Okay.
love the idea of you throwing it around, probably won't be that effective.
Well, you said there's a net in the oil.
Can I use an action to grab the net out and then put it on the method surrounding me?
Yeah, how much
Is that
coverage is the net?
The net can only affect a large or smaller creature, so I would let it hit 2
Oh.
of them.
Okay. Okay. Can I use it to grab onto 2 of them like a bag for one action? And then I want to use action surge to swing the net bag into the other methods and push them all towards the burning manticore.
It's possible.
Alright, I'll try it.
So first, go ahead, make an attack roll. So your proficiency and strength,
Okay.
like kind of your normal weapon stuff.
15 plus 6.
That'll definitely do it. So you grab these two guys, put a little yellow ring around them. Now go ahead, make an athletics check for me to do sort of the shoving stuff.
Nat 20 plus 6.
I literally, in my mind, I was like, if he gets a 10, he'll get the first one. If he gets 20 or higher, he'll get both of them. And you absolute maniac.
Alright.
So all of them end up in a pile of oily, flaming net on top of the manticore. And that's your turn. Done.
Do I have a bonus action left or no?
I guess. Just make it stop. Make it end.
It would take an. I have the spirit of giving charm, but I assume it would take an action to help out Louis.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, can I use second wind?
You sure can.
Cool, I'll do that.
Go ahead and roll that. All right, Ventus, it's your turn. You're 60 feet away from the mouth, like 90 feet from the action.
Alright. I will run 30 feet up. Is 30 feet like kind of near where Win is?
For the running portion,
Yes.
you'll end up like, I think it ends up being about 15, 20 feet behind him.
Okay.
Did you just blow your water, Alan?
Alright. I will run up and. Perfect. I will. Run up to where I'm currently at the board, and I will kind of take stock of the situation and coalesce some wind magic in my hand, and I'm going to cast Shatter at this group that Norm has perfectly gathered in this clump. What are the ice methods made out of? Are they ice? Are they made out of ice?
Yeah.
Okay, then they have disadvantage on the saving throw against the spell Shatter.
What kind of save
That
is
is
it?
Con
Con
save.
or dex?
Is con. Those four.
Yeah. A right plus 0. Two of them got a 10 and a 2. An 11 and an 11.
That fails. All of them. 15. They take 20 points of thunder damage.
Combined with the fire that they will inevitably take, they did.
So I just kind of
It
gather
melts
over,
away.
throw it right past Norm, and just it explodes in like an impact of thunderous wind and like howling wind, and I get all of them. and I'm a wizard, so I don't have a bonus action, so
Yep.
that's my turn.
Ice shards immediately melt away with the heat. And Norm, you finish your swing. They get there, they catch on fire. You're like, yes, and then you look up, they're gone. That'll take it now to Casimir. You are up and at 'em.
Am I having to get up from prone, like
Yes.
mechanically?
Yeah, so
Okay.
half of your movement.
Okay. What would it be to grab Louis?
Bill hooking.
I mean, it's like sort of part of your movement, but then once you have him, you'll move at half speed. So you won't be able to move hardly anywhere once
Well,
you
I
get
do
there.
have the powerful build trait.
Okay. So I'd let you, like, sort of move at normal speed, but it would still take you 10 feet to get there.
Well, I mean, I have an extra 5 feet of reach.
Because it's through an enemy.
What if I move here?
Then that'll work. That's okay.
Okay, cool.
So you'll have
So-
10 feet of movement left with Louis in your arms.
I come out of this bloody daze as the more grievous of my wounds start to heal up, and like what remains of these shards of ice kind of begin pushing themselves out. Kind of shake myself out of it, see what's going on, and I make a game time decision. I summon some of my knowledge of the magic of this land, and I'm going to, as a bonus action, cast Zephyr Strike. So I'm going to, like, kind of this icy wind, and starts roiling around me. And I am going to move here. I will grab Louis, and then I will start running this way with him over my shoulder. And as part of Zephyr Strike, my movement does not provoke attacks of opportunity. So when these little bastards try to go and claw at me, they're just like buffeted back like by this icy wind, and I just book it. And is it my action to grab Louis?
No, we'll say it's like part of your movement,
Okay,
an interaction.
cool. So do I lose half of my movement if I dash as well? Does that carry over?
That I'm not sure of, so I'm gonna say no. We'll say you get your movement again.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and I just kind of zoom past, like, it surrounded in almost this kind of like weird tornado of snowflakes, eggs bleeding all the hell with Louis over one shoulder. And I just go, Louis down, and that'll be my turn.
Amazing. Louis down. That's the name of the campaign.
Yeah, saving Louis' privates.
Saving Private Louis.
I like saving Louis' privates. That's a.
Let's get to
Good one.
Austin. Gil, you see Louis down, Wynn is surrounded, and Norm is left inside, but he seems to be okay with only 2 of the little ice creatures in there.
Then I'm going to.
Is it not Louis' turn?
Oh shit, yeah, that was Casimir's
is,
turn.
yeah.
Louis, make a death save for me.
Oh no.
That 20.
1. 0.
I'll go somewhere in between that and give you a 5.
That's still a fail. It's one
But it's
failure.
not 2 failures.
It's not 2.
Not 2 failures.
Not 1, not 3, not 2.
Don't worry, I have 6 of those.
6. Fair. Okay, Gil. Louis down. Wind surrounded.
I am going to How's Win? Do you look okay? Do you look like you're
I'm fine. I'm
you're doing all right? Okay.
He's doing his whole Warrior of Twilight
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
so
he's
he
fine.
probably just looks insane right now. Just
He
I'm
looks,
fine.
he looks great. You're looking great.
Great.
I'm gonna go
Appreciate it.
play the part of defibrillator, and I'm going to 1 hit point to Louis with lay on hands. Just actually, fuck it. No, actually, I'll just give him 5.
Bye.
So
Louis
that
fully
way,
orgasms.
there is a good, at least some small chance that you won't just
Do it again.
get knocked out in a single hit. But yeah, I'm gonna move over to there. I'm gonna give Louis the quick boop, and then I'm gonna expend the rest of my movement getting into like trying to basically divide the attention of the ones that are surrounding Win right now, and just kind of like
Giving
get
Louis-
them in there.
Giving Louis the quick boop is his ideal weekend.
Jesus Christ.
Trying to divide attention. Go and just give me a straight charisma check for me.
Becoming a threat. That is a 19.
The guards are going to, because they're still out there technically. They get their second turn now. They will try to do a little bit of short bow stuff. They have advantage because they get pack tactics in their stat block, which is hiding. Okay. They go ahead and put it into the one that Gil already heavily wounded. And they damage another one for a whopping 7 points of damage. But that will take it now to the actual Mephit's turns. And Gil, you do a great job. You divide their attention. Turns to you, Gil. And Gil, if you'll make a dex save for me. And Win, if you also make a dex save for me.
Eight. Good times.
320.
One thing, Gil just ended his turn,
Yes, you did.
like within my radius.
Uh-huh.
Right? You get 6 temp HP. Boom.
Which is great because Gil, you take half damage on this save. The
Cool.
total damage was only 5, so you take 2 points of cold damage.
Hey, I'm resistant to that.
So you take 1 point of cold damage. When these ice methods say something in Aquan,
What they saying?
the one that blows his cold breath at you says to the other, "I'm gonna freeze the fish."
Hey now.
So you take 6, have to 3 points of cold damage.
Hey man, I know we're like fighting to the death here, but that's uncalled for.
That's
a
uncalled
macro.
for. And then Austin, the last one, who doesn't have his cold breath anymore, is just going to take a quick little claw swipe at you. Ooh, for a natural 19.
I'm gonna use silvery barbs to make him roll this.
What does that look like when he misses?
I will kind of like throw up my hand, and like a guiding wind will kind of push his claw away, and that same wind will embolden, will flow over to let's say Gil, and embolden him so he has advantage on his next attack.
Oh, hell yeah. So Gilly get advantage. Those ice methods are going to float over.
Alright.
Norm, if you'll make 2 dexterity saving throws for me.
Okay.
They both use their icy breath.
Uh, 15 and 9.
Okay. So you only take hold from 1. So that's going to be 5 points of cold damage, and then 2 points from the other one, so 7 total.
Okay.
I have forgotten a huge part of their characters, but actually it was fire for a good chunk of them, so actually it might be okay. The one that here's what we'll do with this. The one that the guard shot at, I'll need Gil and Win to both make another dexterity saving throw as it explodes in shards of ice. The ones that were on fire, they melted away. No exploding for them.
15.
15? Sweet.
6.
So Win will take double half because he is resistant. Old. Oh my jeez, I rolled a 1. There's no having any of that. So you both just take 1 point of cold damage. Jesus Christ. What a way to die, dealing 1 point of cold damage. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Now take it back over to the top with Win. Still a little surrounded, but you've got Gil next to you. I think you're muted. If you're...
Whoops. I'm gonna cast Gust of Wind so I can get these guys off of me. Because I don't like being I don't like being surrounded. So I need a strength check.
You're not very strong, Xavier. I believe you do. The highest roll of all 3 of them was a 7.
Ah, boom, so they all fell. So they're gonna get pushed 15 feet away. I was gonna push them further into the cave, but that's where Norm's at, so that's probably not the best thing to do. So I'm just gonna push them backwards and
So just kind of like straight this way.
yes, just straight away from me.
You want him to move outside the cave or inside the cave as he hits that sort of edge?
Outside. Get him out of here.
We'll do something like that.
There we go. And as I do, oh, that was a spell. Cool. Can't cast another spell. Okay, cool. So that's that, and I'm gonna. How close is everyone now? Should be within my 30-foot range, right?
I think everyone except Norm.
Everyone except Norm, which is perfect.
I already have 10 HP, so I can't stack that.
I am. Yeah, just let me. Just at the end of your turn, just let me know. Get to it. I think that's all I can do at this point, but I do want to move slightly closer to Norm. Yeah, because he's at 45 feet, so let me move 15 feet so I can get a little closer to baby Norm.
Been right in the mouth of the cave.
Yep, there we go. Now everyone is in the dim light 30-foot radius. We're all good. I can give everyone the temp HP.
Takes it to Norm. You're getting attacked.
Alright. Wait, how much? 10 HP?
It's when you end your turn there, so you won't get it until
Okay.
Super.
end of this one.
Is the Manticore corpse still large in size?
It is still large in size.
Can I use mold earth to slide or push the Manticore corpse on top of these 2 methods in front of me? Like a boulder in a way? Just like roll it over?
That's like an object, basically. And you're gonna kind of like earth bend it, just like.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna treat this as. This will be a straight intelligence check, but it'll be
Okay.
akin to like a shove or a grapple or something. But instead of you using athletics, it's just going to be intelligence because it's your spellcasting modifier. So straight intelligence, I will have them make their own like little dex checks.
Oh, 16.
One of them gets crushed.
All right.
The other one survives, manages to dodge out of the way, but the other one gets crushed and immediately melts and falls apart under the weight of the manticore's corpse. The manticorpse, if you will. Thanks, Travis.
I won't actually. No.
No, I'm good. No thanks. I'll send it back.
Bonus actions. Fuck it. I'll horn the other one as a bonus action.
And you hear the one that got crushed explode under the manticore, but the manticore body just absorbs all of it. Yeah, so go ahead and horn the other one.
Oh god. Oh Jesus. I almost dropped all my dice. Okay, do I add my proficiency?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's like 12 plus 6, 18.
Yeah, that'll do it. That's. So you shove them?
No,
do you
I'm just
heal
gonna
damage?
hit it with my horns.
Oh, whoa, whoa, yeah, okay.
Just a little 2-time stab, you know?
The 1-2 punch. 1-2 horn.
So that is 3 plus 4, 7 damage.
Okay.
Piercing.
Ventus.
Would it be likely that these things are weak to fire?
It would be very likely.
Right, cool. Move forward, and then get all 3 of them burning hands.
Oh yeah, Norm, you get +6 temp HP. Burning hands, that's a dex save?
Yeah. Where's that? Let me check my.
One of them got a 17, the other one a 19, but the other one was like low at an 8.
Alright, well, those will definitely succeed.
But they are vulnerable. So go ahead and roll your damage and we'll figure out the math.
3d6. So we got. Good roll. 15. So I guess even the ones that failed, was that still 15?
Yeah, the ones that failed are still 15, and which means that this one in the middle, Dunzo, this one that had already been damaged, Dunzo. This one is sitting at 15 points of damage out of his total. Jesus H.
I
Arl the Frostmaiden, I can't
this one that's injured. How I cast Burning Hands? I will in a flourish place like an arcane sigil onto the ground and just kind of erupting from the ground, just this hot air flying, just kind of like propelling itself into the air, and I will just melt 2 of them. And in that motion, after the 2 have perished, I'll look to the last one and go, really would be better if you didn't waste the rest of our time.
So next up is Kaz, Louie, and Gil. There are only 2 of these ice methods out of a total of 14 that were there. I am deeply impressed by everything you guys did. So, with only 2 left, Kaz, Louie, and Gil, and really everybody, how do you want to do this? what is the ending to this event, this encounter. I'm gonna open it. I'll leave it to Kaz, Louie, and Gil first, and then we'll kind of wrap up narratively what you do with the Manticore and go from there.
Well, first off, seeing Louis come back to consciousness, I kind of, like a child that might have sat on my shoulder, I set him down on the ground.
Ska, you alright?
No.
Me neither.
It just spew blood everywhere.
So, hey, neither of us can die yet.
And I start running off to deal with the stragglers. Do you guys want to like come up? I know it's some sort of anime combo.
I was gonna
like
say
that,
an
but how you
anime
finished the
finisher
last one.
combo. Okay, brainstorm.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
do
toilet
both
cat
for
real
now.
fast, and
got
I'll
it.
let you think about it for a second.
Austin,
I have
Austin,
I have this arrow that is attached to a length of chain, and so I shoot one of the remaining methods, stick the arrow in him, wrap the chain, and yank it back at you to let you do whatever you're gonna. So basically, like fling it at you to do as you please as I knock another arrow to shoot at the one of the other remaining ones. Or other remaining one.
with the enhanced, I guess, speed from my Zephyr strike, I catch this struggling pierced method in midair, and I offer like the other end to Louis. Let's go. Look. Yeah, and I guess Casimir would know what this is, but you want to do it like a party favor? A party cracker?
For sure.
Cool,
For
yeah.
sure.
So I offer the other end to Louis, and once he takes it, I fucking pull as hard as I can. Okay,
So
Austin,
brutal.
you wanna narrate for Logan what?
Yes.
what
What is
happened?
your
Yeah.
anime
So,
finisher here?
I took out the chain arrow, and I shot one, stuck it, threw it to basically rounded it around to Louis, or to Cass and Louis, and then they fucking pulled it apart like a party popper.
Yeah.
It's like Scorpion, get over
Yeah,
here.
get
except-
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Pinata just explodes.
basically.
Oh
So-
my god. I imagine because of the way you have to
Shot the
swing it, like Ventus ducks underneath the chain as it swings
Yeah.
around. Amazing. And then we'll leave it back to leave it up because Alan, you had a thing. There's this last little ice mephit next to you. What do you do when your turn comes around? It takes some slashes at you with its claws, but
I'm gonna use catapult to grab one of the charcoals sitting at the mouth of the cave to hit him in the back of his head.
you just reach out.
And I just wave at him. Bye.
Yeah, that's your casting of the spell is waving, and then the charcoal scoots with each wave of your hand. It scoots, and then flies out, crashes against the ice method, and everything falls silent. A few moments pass as you guys kind of catch your breath. The Manticore's body sizzles, the ice methods melt away, and you hear, somewhat muffled due to leather gloves, but applause, as a lot of the guards are kind of standing back, cheering, shaking their weapons in the air, hitting them against their shields. Your dogs start barking and howling as they are making all this noise.
Bark.
Sheriff Southwell eventually joins and says, This monster's been terrorizing Bryn Shander, and you took care of it in half a minute. Right? Wow. no words. No words. And he just starts to shake some hands. And he gets to Louis, and he's like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I'm leaning up against my bill hook, and Louis is leaning up against me.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's true. Maybe cuddling a little bit more than
I-
like.
Snuggling in.
Can I do like a medicine check or something on the two of them to like apply some hypothetical medical knowledge on a real situation? This is like when someone who really doesn't super know what they're doing tries to be helpful.
Oh yeah, like you see all the wounds, and you're like, "Oh, you just need to staunch the flow and put a bandage around that, and get some antiseptic." And you're just like, "Great, thanks."
Yeah, how up are you on bugbear anatomy?
Well, I don't know. Let me roll. Let me see.
Go ahead, roll a medicine check.
All right. It's not. That's a 14.
Okay.
It's pretty, clear-cut stab wounds with just a little bit of like icy kind of magical like frostbite to them, but it fades pretty quickly, and then it's basically just a bleeding stab wound.
So
You do notice.
I
You do
Yeah,
notice. Let me grab the book here. Actually, no, I think I can do this on D&D Beyond. Travis, I'll need you to grab a die here. Travis, if you will roll a D100 for me.
D&D Beyond does have one of those, so I got a 73.
You notice that as Louis is leaning against Casimir, he's about 2 feet shorter, and his pants are obscenely long on him.
Yeah, I instinctively grip where Louis' like shoulder used to be, but I'm just like basketball palming your head.
And it takes a moment, and then you realize that Louis is a dwarf from the knees up and a halfling from the knees down. It's basically knee and then about 3 inches and then ankle and foot.
Wait, dwarf from the waist up, halfling from the waist down.
Dwarf from the knee up, halfling from the knee down. So it's like his calves are like a few inches long, and then it's his little halfling feet in his dwarven pants and shoes. And then you feel some growing pains, little aches, as your legs start to revert back to normal.
Great, that everything hurts. Especially my legs. Can we get out of here? Or
Yeah, I
actually,
think
let's
that would-
search this
should-
place first.
should
Let's
go.
search this place first for things.
Oh yeah, I will do a nice, good old-fashioned investigation check on this cave. See if there's any treasure.
Yeah. Can Gil and I lead the guards in, like, kind of, I guess, tying up the manticore to be carted back
Absolutely.
to the town?
So a couple things with that. So it takes some time to grab up the manticore, especially as singed as it is. But eventually you're able to kind of get it into a position to be at least dragged back. As far as what's in the cave goes, surprisingly nothing. And like manticores, they're predators, they hunt and eat things. There's not a lot in this cave, not even like bones or animal remains. You find a few human bones that have been left behind, but otherwise the cave is strangely empty. But those of you, this would be up Ventus's alley, but also up Louis and Casimir's alley. You see around the edge of the cave, sort of where the cave wall meets the cave floor, On the floor and at the base of the cave wall are druidic runes that have been carved all around the edges of the cave, like some kind of circle, some kind of ritual. So something about this cave was either magically protected or magically used to some degree. But otherwise, no treasure remains, hardly anything.
Can I decipher those runes? An Arcana check or something like
No, just because druidic. Like
What
you
if
would
I
recognize them
cast-
as druidic and recognize them as magic, but because it's in a different language, there's not too much to be able to.
that? What if I cast comprehend languages?
I don't know if druidic allows that, but you are proficient in a lot of things, so I'll let it work. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me with the comprehend languages.
24.
It's sort of a. There's sort of a lot of magic implications baked into some of the runes. It's like a conjuration thing combined with almost like pocket dimension type things. Like it was almost like a space created for this manticore, but then the manticore was also created to inhabit the space. So it was definitely something that was not necessarily natural. It was definitely something that was made.
Can I possibly have any insight into who might have made these? Like, what peoples I might have encountered over my decades in Icewind Dale
Just make
who practice these kind of
Yeah.
traditions?
Make either a history or a nature check. Asking some good questions.
Yeah, I'll do 11 nature.
You don't know their names, but Arl the Frostmaiden does have druids, sort of Arctic, snowy druids who worship her. And there has been a problem in the past few years of the Everlasting Rime that these druids have been going around and willy-nilly awakening animals. Because you were like, Casimir was a big boar hunter. Maybe like once a month, you would be hunting boar, and one would talk to you. It would have life and sentience beyond just being a boar. So even though you don't necessarily know what magic this is, it kind of matches this this trend of awakening animals, except this time it's almost like imbuing a monster with even more power.
Interesting.
So
So,
it's like a
we don't
second
think
degree.
the Manticore naturally has a level of intelligence and would not need to be awoken, but
Yeah.
it seems it's been augmented in
Yeah,
some way.
like with the magical, like the ice spikes that turn into these methods, the
Okay.
like strange hibernating for an entire month and then waking up just to eat a person that's been sacked. So it's definitely been modified, augmented, magically changed.
Very interesting. I will relay that information to the group.
Much to think about.
Okay. So if nothing else here, tying up the manticore, taking whatever notes you need to, you head out. Heading back to Bryn Shander, meeting with Duvessa Shane. We'll get into some more of the details of how that conversation goes a little bit later. I imagine by the time you get back into town, you're tired, need a hot meal, need some tea, need some alcohol, need to rest. So we'll kind of pick up with the exact conversation a little bit later. But we'll assume it's sort of the next day as she takes time to sort of think about what this means for the town and how to approach the town about it. But in the meantime, not only do you get a long rest, you also reach level 4.
Double nice. Let's go.
Give me the 20 intelligence.
Am I doing 20 wisdom? I think I might. Or charisma, one of the two.
Why not both?
Looking at those.
Are we gonna roll for help?
Yeah, go and roll for health, and you can kind of talk about what you want to do if you know exactly, or you can think about it some.
I rolled a 7, so that'll be an additional 9 HP.
We re-roll ones, right?
Yes, reroll some ones.
God.
I actually think I'm just gonna go ahead and go. So.
All right.
Good night,
Sleep
Austin.
well.
Not awesome.
See y'all around.
That's a 6, baby. Give the wizard some health.
I don't think I'm increasing my constitution, so I'm just gonna do this thing. What feats could I do?
Yeah, say you'll probably take a while to figure out ability scores and feats and stuff like that.
I'll go ahead and roll my anything.
And I will hopefully, I think Austin was the last one for D&D Beyond, so I'll, over the next few weeks.
I think it's Carson is actually.
Yeah, I
Was it
still need to
Carson?
do it.
Come on, Carson.
I know.
Get it together.
Shame. But I will update our little roller thing, and the hit points will eventually have a D&D Beyond overlay for Twitch stuff, so that will be on there, and it'll be very fun, and I'll be able to see all your stuff, and I won't have to bother you guys about changes and stuff. I can just make it myself.
As is tradition with Louis, I roll like shit for health and rolled a 3. My health is now at level 4, a 31. As a ranger, the average is
I was like, is your hit dice a
Higher.
D10, right?
yes. Yes.
Fuck, my guy.
How much health do you have?
I have 31.
Oh, I was about to say I was gonna laugh at you if I caught up to you. I'm
mean,
at 28.
Oh, that's so
It is-
close, though.
I am
43.
But Travis,
Ooh.
think of it as an opportunity to explore this whole dying twice thing.
There you go.
Louis will definitely explore that, let me tell you.
I'm imagining
He is-
that Louis, like, in his, like, sexual explorations, that eventually he tells people, like, kill me. And then comes back to life as a new person.
Louis
Reminds
is
me a
gonna
little
end
bit-
up like a Cenobite if he doesn't. If he keeps on this path. The ultimate pleasure is having no genitals and having a bunch of metal through my flesh. Oh.
Yo, can
Dude,
you
calm down.
imagine reincarnated as a warforged?
I can't wait. I can't wait.
My name is
give me a
Spike.
What are you doing here? All campaign.
Oh, good lord. I think, so no D&D next week. I'm double checking my calendar to see if the next week is, I don't need to talk with Austin, but it's a busy time here at the Smith household.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so,
What
not,
feats do I currently have, actually?
so next week I will be out of town, and it is Carson's birthday. Whoop whoop. July 4th, I have plans on July 4th. We could try playing, but I'll be on the National Mall in DC with other people.
That's all right. That's all right.
So probably not until the 11th, it seems.
We'll see you then.
So
Yeah.
we'll,
Day after tomorrow.
we'll get the D&D Beyond overlay set up. We'll get all that nice up and running. We'll talk about what happens now that you've slain the problem of Bryn Shander, the Shander Terror. And then, not to plant ideas into your guys' heads, just to kind of let you know where we're at in the campaign. technically, you guys are, quote, done with problems in 10 towns. So you could technically move on to things that are outside of 10 towns as you are a high enough level, but I know you guys have some certain interests in 10 towns, like the last place of the sacrifices, the druids, and things like that. So if you keep doing stuff in 10 towns, you can do that. You will get treasure and money and magical items and all that kind of good stuff for doing those kinds of quests. You won't get levels, but depending on how many you do, I will definitely consider awarding you guys with a +1 to an ability score, or maybe like a feat, or some kind of bonus something or other for completing these quests. So that's just something to keep in mind, is that you guys are able to leave 10 towns if you so wish. It's just, depending on what you want to do. And there's still plenty of rumors and things to hear about, things that are in 10 towns, outside of 10 towns. There's still a whole lot for you guys out there, so.
We could just book it straight to Arl. I mean,
Yeah.
Where is she?
Yeah. Just hit her with a bunch of pots of oil.
There was so much more in store that would have made that fight even worse. But you freaking nailed it in that surprise round. Oh man.
I'm pretty proud of us. That was a really good plan.
Well executed.
I'm very proud of us. It's time to go to bed.
It is time to go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so good night, people that may have tuned in. What's the thing we say?
Praise hail, raise Dale.
Do we after the Dale after tomorrow?
Dale.